Picture this. You're finally booking that dream Caribbean cruise. Summer vacation, kids are out of school. Perfect timing, right? You click book now on that 7-night Eastern Caribbean sailing, 1,899 per person. Feeling good about your choice until you discover the exact same cabin on the exact same ship 3 months later costs just $749. That's not a small discount. That's a massive 60% difference. You just overpaid by $2,300 for a couple's vacation, enough for another entire cruise. This isn't a random example. It's the cold, hard reality of peak season pricing. And cruise lines are banking on you not noticing. They've mastered the art of price manipulation, creating artificial scarcity during popular travel times when they know families are desperate to book. Only 3 cabins left at this price, they warn, triggering your fear of missing out. But here's what they don't tell you. Those same cabins will sit half empty during off-season months, available at fire sale prices. A recent study found that 68% of first-time cruisers book during peak season, paying an average of 40% more than off-season travelers for identical experiences. Think about that. Nearly half your vacation budget gone just because of timing. And it gets worse. That premium price doesn't even buy you a better experience. Quite the opposite. Peak season ships operate at 105, 110% capacity, with extra beds crammed into cabins to maximize profits. That means longer lines everywhere. 40 minutes for breakfast, 30 minutes for the water slide, packed pool decks where finding an empty chair feels like winning the lottery. Want that specialty restaurant reservation? Good luck. Peak sailings book up months in advance. Even the service suffers. The crew-to-passenger ratio drops during peak season. That friendly cabin steward who'd normally service 14 rooms is now rushing through 18 to 20. The bartender who'd remember your name in January won't have time for chit-chat in July. You're paying more for less attention, less space, and more frustration. Don't forget the ports. That dreamy beach day in St. Thomas, now shared with 4 other megaships, each dumping 4,000 passengers into a town built for half that number. Your peaceful paradise becomes a crowded tourist trap with hour-long waits for taxis and restaurants turning away customers. Think you're getting the best value by sailing when everyone else does? The shocking truth about what cruise lines don't tell you about peak season pricing might change your entire booking strategy. Let's talk real money. A 7-night Alaska cruise on Princess in July, $1,299 per person for a balcony cabin. The same exact ship, same cabin category, same ports in May, just $889. That's $1,400 in savings for a couple, enough to cover your flights, excursions, or even an extra week of vacation somewhere else. The Caribbean shows even more dramatic swings. A Christmas week cruise might cost $2,199 per person, while the exact same itinerary in early December runs just $799. That's not a discount. That's a completely different price bracket. But the savings are just the beginning. Off-season ships typically sail at 70–80% capacity, not the 110% overcrowding of peak season. What does that mean for you? Everything is more available. That specialty restaurant that was booked solid now has openings every night. The adults-only sun deck that was impossible to access now has plenty of empty loungers waiting for you. Spa appointments, show seats, game activities, all easier to access without the crushing crowds. The service difference is night and day. With fewer passengers on board, crew members can actually take time with you. Your room steward remembers your name and your preferences. Bartenders chat and make custom drinks instead of rushing through orders. You're not just a cabin number in a sea of faces. A 20-year cruise veteran named Margaret told me she exclusively sails in October and November now. The crew actually has time to smile. They remember my drink order from day one. It feels like a completely different cruise line. Worried about the weather? The data might surprise you. Caribbean temperatures vary just 3 to 5 degrees, between peak and off-season. The average high in the Eastern Caribbean in July is 80 degrees. In October, it's 84 degrees. You'll barely notice the difference while enjoying those empty beaches. Even Alaska isn't as cold as you might think in May, with daytime temperatures typically reaching the upper 50s. Plenty comfortable for excursions with the right layers. The most underrated benefit? The upgrade potential. Cruise lines hate sailing with empty cabins, especially premium ones. Off-season cruisers regularly report scoring surprise upgrades from inside cabins to balconies, or from regular balconies to mini-suites. John from Dallas paid for the cheapest inside cabin on a February cruise and ended up in a balcony stateroom worth 3 times what he paid. Why? The ship was sailing at 65% capacity, and the cruise line would rather put someone in those premium rooms than let them sit empty. Ready to save thousands while enjoying a better cruise experience? But wait until you hear about the secret disadvantages of off-season sailing that could ruin your vacation if you're not prepared. Let's be honest, off-season cruising isn't all sunshine and empty pool decks. There are legitimate drawbacks that could sink your vacation if you choose the wrong time or destination. Weather disruptions top the list. Hurricane season in the Caribbean officially runs June through November, with the highest risk period from mid-August through early October. During this window, about 17% of cruises experience significant itinerary changes and 3% face outright cancellations. That dream stop in Grand Cayman might turn into an extra day at sea if a storm system develops. In Alaska, early May and late September, sailings face greater chances of rainfall. Juneau averages 18 rainy days in September, compared to just 11 in July. Those gorgeous glacier photos you envisioned, they might be shrouded in mist and fog. September cruisers in Alaska also deal with shortened daylight, losing almost 3 hours of sunlight compared to June sailings. Some off-season disappointments aren't weather-related at all. On Mediterranean cruises, many beach clubs and seaside restaurants in places like Santorini in the French Riviera shut down completely from November through April. You'll save money on your cruise fare but find ghost towns instead of the bustling scenes you expected. In many ports, shore excursion options shrink by 30–50% in off-season. That helicopter glacier tour or parasailing adventure, not operating. Even on board, certain activities may be limited. Most cruise lines don't fill all specialty dining venues on off-season sailings with lower occupancy. The main pool might be closed on cooler days, and activities like the ropes course or water slides operate with reduced hours. One family booked a November Caribbean cruise excited about the ship's massive water park, only to find it open just 4 hours daily because of slightly cooler temperatures. Some destinations suffer more than others in off-season. Bermuda cruises in March can face temperatures too cold for beach days, with water temperatures in the 60s. The Baltic capitals lose much of their charm in November when daylight lasts just 6 hours and outdoor cafes are long closed. Alaska in May might mean missing wildlife sightings, as many species haven't fully returned from winter migration. Paul and Sandra's experience proves how badly off-season can go wrong without research. They booked a deeply discounted October Mediterranean cruise, eager to explore the Greek islands without crowds. What they found were shuttered shops in Mykonos, closed beach clubs in Santorini, and chilly winds that made their balcony cabin useless. "We saved $2,000, Sandra said, but I would have gladly paid it to have the experience we actually wanted." Wondering exactly when to book for the perfect balance of savings and experience? The cruise industry's best-kept booking secret is about to save you thousands while guaranteeing the vacation of your dreams. The sweet spot isn't peak season or deep off-season. It's shoulder season, those magical few weeks on either side of peak periods when prices drop, but the experience remains premium. For the Caribbean, early December, before holiday sailings, and late January, after New Year's crowds, offer perfect combinations. Prices 30–40% lower than peak, warm weather in the 80s, and ships at comfortable 85% capacity. You'll save significantly while avoiding both hurricane risks and winter break crowds. Alaska's golden windows are late May and early September. You'll pay about $100 for a balcony cabin instead of $800 in peak July. Late May brings longer daylight hours and emerging wildlife, while early September offers fall colors and better chances of seeing the northern lights. Both periods avoid the July-August crowds when up to 6 megaships might dock simultaneously in tiny Ketchikan. Mediterranean shoulder seasons fall in late April, May and September, not sure, early October. These periods bring comfortable temperatures, 65, 75 hunting, lighter crowds, and savings of 25-35% over summer prices. Plus, you'll actually enjoy those charming outdoor cafes without summer's crushing heat and tourist hordes. Timing isn't just about when you sail, it's when you book. The booking sweet spot hits between 60 and 90 days before sailing for most cruises. This period, what industry insiders call the final payment window, is when cruise lines assess their remaining inventory and drop prices if cabins remain unsold after passengers' final payments are due. One data analysis found that prices drop an average of 17% during this window for underbooked sailings. Set price alerts using tools like cruiseline.com, HWTMA, cruiseline.com, or Shipmate. They'll notify you the moment prices drop on your targeted sailing. Then pounce immediately. Those deals often disappear within 24-48 hours. Even better, if you've already booked but haven't made final payment, most cruise lines will honor price drops if you ask. The savings can be substantial. One family saw their total fare drop by 160s after a price alert caught a 2-day sale. Don't overlook repositioning cruises, one-way sailings when ships change seasonal home ports. These oddball itineraries like Florida to Barcelona offer the ultimate value. A 14-day transatlantic on Royal Caribbean might cost just $790 per person. That's $57 per day, including food, entertainment, and transportation between continents. For guaranteed lowest prices, consider guarantee cabins where you choose a category, inside, ocean view, etc., but not a specific room. You'll save 10–15% off the lowest regular fare in that category and often score surprise upgrades when the ship doesn't sell out. The most powerful strategy combines everything. Book a shoulder season, guarantee cabin, on a repositioning cruise during the final payment window. One savvy cruiser paid just $549 for a 10-day Mediterranean sailing that would cost $2,399 in summer. That's 77% off, like getting 8 free days on your vacation. Start using these timing strategies now, because the difference between paying full price and scoring the deal of a lifetime often comes down to knowing exactly when to book.